So today we are going to discuss about chapter 7, string manipulations. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about mainly 3 classes in Java. These 3 main classes are string class, string buffer class and a character wrapper class. Apart from these 3 classes, we also discuss string tokenizer class and the use of split function. Okay. So chapter number 7, string manipulations. Okay, please read what is written on the screen. So we know that what is a string. So string is a sequence of characters. Sequence of characters means the characters are arranged in sequence, right? So when we create a string object, using the string class, that string object cannot be changed. That is, strings are immutable. Suppose if you want to create a string object or you want to create a changeable strings, you can use the string buffer class. So we discuss about the string buffer class in later, right? So string and string buffer classes are used for the string manipulations. Please read what is written on the screen. So here you can see that how we can create a string object. So the default constructor method is on the screen, you can see. Okay, here you can see that string str is equal to abc. Using this string we can create a string. So that is what you are seeing on the screen. String str is equal to new string of str. And we can also create string from a character array. So string can be created from the character array also. The example for the same is you can see on the screen. Now we are going to see some functions under the string class. So the first one is the length method. So the length method returns the length of the string, or it will display the total number of characters in a string. So on the screen you can see that we discuss about the use of plus operator in the string manipulations. So this string of the plus operator is used in strings to concatenate 2 or more strings. The example for the same you can see on the screen. Okay. So the plus operator can be used for joining or concatenating 2 strings. Okay. So our next method is CompareTo method. So in the CompareTo method, it will return a character at a particular index position. So it will return a character at a particular index position, right? So here you can see that example. ABC is the string. abc.char1. So it will of course return the character B, right? So here we can see the equals and equals ignore case functions. So equals and equals ignore case, both these functions return a boolean value, either true or false. So in the case of equals, which is case sensitive, and equals ignore case, it is case insensitive, right? So it is used for comparing 2 strings. In the case of equals, it will return true if and only if both the strings, or if the strings are same, then only it will return true. In the case of equals ignore case, it will return true, ignoring the case of the characters used in the string. Now, two important functions, starts with and ends with functions. So starts with and ends with. So these two functions used for checking whether a particular string starts or ends with a specified prefix or a suffix. So starts with and ends with functions used for checking whether a particular string starts with another substring, starts or ends with a particular substring. The example you can see on the screen. Both these functions retain a Boolean value. So here you can see the another variation of starts with function. The variation is that here we can mention a specified index position so that the searching or the checking can be started from the given index position. So in the example, figure is the figure is the string. So we are checking that figure starts with GURE, in which index position is mentioned as 2. So this function will check whether the string figure figure starts with the GURE from the index position 2. So in this case you can see that GURE starts from the index position 2. So in this case it will return true because it matches with the given index position and string values. Okay. Another important function is the CompareTo function. So this CompareTo function used for comparing two strings lexicographically. So what is lexicographically? It is the order in which the words are arranged in a dictionary. So it is an alphabetic order of arrangement. So this CompareTo function will return an integer value if two strings are equal. If two strings are equal, then it will return a value 0. If two strings are different, it will return an integer value. That integer value is calculated based on the ASCII values of the characters in the string. That is calculated based on the first difference in the characters. Right? So this CompareTo function is case sensitive. Suppose if you want to perform the CompareTo operation ignoring the case, so you have to use CompareTo ignore case function. This is not mentioned in our textbook, but we can make use of this functionality, CompareTo and CompareTo ignore case. Okay, so both will return an integer value. It check the strings lexicographically. So it will return true if both the strings are equal. Otherwise, it will return an integer value based on the ASCII characters difference. Okay. Okay. Another method is the index of function. This index of function will return an integer value. Actually, it is going to return the index position of a particular character. So it is going to return the index position of a particular character or a string. The index position of a string can also be checked using the index of function. Suppose the mentioned character or the substring is not available in the string, in that case it will return -1. Okay. So here you can see the another variation of index of function where we can mention the index position also, so that the index of function will check from the mentioned index. So it may check for the availability, or it will check, or it will return the index position of the character mentioned from the given index position. The example for the same you can see on the screen. So another important one is the last index of function. So in the case of this last index of function, this also return an integer value. It return the last index of a particular character or a substring. Suppose INDIA is a string. If you look for the last index of I, so in this case it will return the index position as 3, because even though I is appearing 2 times in the word India, so the last index of I, it will be the index position 3, right? Another important function is the substring. So the substring will return the part of the string starting from the given index position. So here you can see that unhappy is a string. So we are finding the substring from the second index position, which may return happy. 0 and 1, those index position covers UN, so it will return happy. So starting from the index position 2, it will return happy. Okay. Here you can see an example. In this example you can see that we are mentioning a starting index and last index also. So smiles is the given string. We are going to find the substring between the index 1 and 5, which will return mile, MILE. So here you can see that even though the given last index is 5, but it is taking the characters ranging from 1 to 4 only, right? So in the case of substring, it avoid the last index position, 1 less than, it will take only up to the index position 1 less than the given index position. Okay. Here you can see the concat function. It is used for joining 2 strings. So it will concat the specified string to the end of the another string. So the example for that one you can see on the screen. So 2 is a string, get is a string, and here is another string. When we concat all these, we will return it as together, right? Here we can see the replace function. So replace function, it will return a string by replacing the old character with the new character. So it will replace all the occurrence of the old character with a particular character. So here in this example you can see that the old character mentioned in the given example is E, and the old character is getting replaced with the new character mentioned, it is O. So it will replace all the occurrence of E with the character O, and you can see the output on the screen.